Hello. So the question is that how can you test your emotional intelligence and why it is so important? I would like to answer this question, but before that, I would like to share a research with you. And for that research, I have this whole book. I'm going to share, you can say, the crux of this whole book in that research, and through this, you'll be getting the answer to the question. So let's start. What happens actually in the year 1962, Dr. Walter Mischel, who's a psychologist, he actually conducts a research at Stanford University. This is a big nursery school. So there's a nursery school which is attached to this university. He conducts a research on almost 19 children, and for the age you can just imagine that their ages were around 5 or 6. So what happens actually, he, along with his team of researcher, he takes all of those children into a room. You can call that a surprise room. In that room there was nothing except a table, a chair, and then a marshmallow on that table. Marshmallow, you can say it's children's favorite candy, especially in America. And then he gives them two choices. The first choice is either they can have that marshmallow right away, or if they wait for a little while, then the researcher would be bringing another marshmallow. So he explains it like this, that I need to go out for some work. So if you'll wait until I come back and this marshmallow is still on your table, then as a gift, I'll give you another one. So you'll get to eat two marshmallows. So they were basically testing whether they have the ability to delay their gratification for something greater and bigger or something better in the future or not. So based on their responses, they divide those almost 19 children into two groups. In group A, they put all of those children who could not wait, who ended up eating that marshmallow within a couple of seconds. They did not wait until the researcher is back. And in group B, let's imagine he puts all of those children who were able to wait, who were able to resist their temptation of eating that marshmallow which was in front of them, and they actually waited for that researcher to come back, and then to so that they can get a second marshmallow as well. So the researcher comes back and he gives them the second marshmallow as well. But this research does not end here. Dr. Walter Mischel follows these children decade by decade and conducts many follow-up studies. One follow-up study he conducts almost after 25 years, then another one after 40 years, and then another one after 50 years. Yes, you heard me well, after 50 years. And based on all of the follow up studies, he concludes that the children who were able to control their temptation when they were almost 5 years old, those children were more successful in their lives. Those children were earning more money. Those children were having better relationships, and those children were having better opportunities as compared to those who could not wait. So, what comes to your mind? What's your conclusion? In order to thrive in any area, in any field of life, the most important quality that you need to have is self control. Now, I would like to link the self control back to the question which I asked at the beginning of this video, that how can you measure your emotional intelligence and why it is important. So, this fact might surprise you that 90% of the competencies which differentiate between an exceptional leader and an average leader, those competencies revolve around emotional intelligence. And self control is a part of that emotional intelligence, or you can call it the first step towards that emotional intelligence. If you want to see whether you're emotionally an intelligent person or not, then see whether you have the ability to control your impulsive behavior or not. How do you behave if you feel like you're being yelled at? How do you behave if you feel like you're being humiliated in front of the other people? Or how do you feel when you get any email which makes you feel really angry? So based on your responses, I can divide you into two categories. You can just imagine that, with which category you can relate. In first category, if you have that power, if you have the ability to, just that you do not respond at all and you just take a step back, you think about the situation and you take your time before you respond, and then after doing all your analysis and everything, then you come back and then you respond. This is called category A. If you belong to category B, these people, they do not wait, they do not think, they just say whatever they feel like saying in that moment. So those people are in category B. If you feel like you're more inclined towards category B, then your level of emotional intelligence is quite low and you need to work on it if you want to be successful. If you're happy the way things are going for you, good for you. But if you feel like you want to develop your emotional intelligence, or if you want to be successful in your life, or it has nothing to do with your technical skills. Technical skills do matter, but when we talk about the global village, we really need to work in teams, we really need to work with other people, we really need to work in different companies. Even if you have your own company, even if you're an entrepreneur, you need to have a team of people who are always standing shoulder to shoulder with you. And you cannot just have it by giving money to people. You need to give them that connection that makes them go beyond expectations. So in order to have that kind of relationship, you need to develop your emotional intelligence. Having said all of these things, I would like to leave you with this one advice, that how can you develop your emotional intelligence, or how can you respond in a better way the next time you get an email which makes you angry, which makes you furious. So, this advice is from the book 101 Business Lessons That They Do Not Teach You at School. This is the title of the book. This book has been written by Chris Haroon, and also this book is one of the top 5 books recommended for entrepreneurs by Forbes magazine. In his book, Chris Haroon mentions that if you get any email which makes you feel angry, sleep on it. So, what does that mean? That means that do not respond right away to that. Just take your time, take a back seat, think about the situation, think about the person, or maybe go do some other activity, go for a jog, go for a walk, cook, do whatever makes you feel normal, whatever brings you back into your normal life or into your normal emotional state, and then sit down and then respond to that email. Trust me, you would never ever regret sending your second draft or email, or sending your that draft of email. So yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you so much. Bye bye.